Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Book Barn.
In today's episode, we will be discussing 3 books from our libraries.
Yep, one from Lasha's library.
And one from Lanie's library.
And we'll have a past book club book selection.
Ooh, Lasha, let's talk books.
Let's talk books. So today we're talking about Hello Beautiful by Napolitano. This is one of our book club book selections that we have discussed with our group in person.
And pretty much some different opinions on it, right? Some girls said there was enough depression in their life. They didn't want to read about it.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did like it. Yeah,
I did too.
I thought it was well written.
Agree.
I thought there were some beautiful lines. But I can see where they would think it's a little sad.
They were more in the mood for a pick-me-up.
Yeah. And this is not it.
No.
Yeah.
So I was pretty much hooked at the beginning. The very beginning was with William, one of the main characters, and he had had some real childhood trauma.
Yeah. His parents basically didn't act like they loved him or wanted him around.
And that was kind of due to the fact that they lost another child, his older sister.
Yes, and he was just a few days old when she died.
But they could have maybe done a little better.
Well, yeah. I would think that they would put all of that love and attention to the child that they have, but it went the opposite way, it seemed.
So we learned that he loved basketball, and that was really the hook for me because I loved basketball growing up. He started playing when he was really little because he could play by himself.
Yeah, he could go to the park just down the road and
shoot hoops. And then when he got a little older, I think he was around 10, kids started asking him to join in and to play with them. Yeah, he got quite good.
Yeah.
He did. At one point, it talked about how basketball was William's first language, and it was the first thing to love him back. Mm-hmm. So, kind of sad.
It is sad.
And then he met Julia in college, and she was one of 4 sisters, tight-knit family.
Yes, the sisters were very close. They were even compared, they compared themselves to the characters in Little Women.
They did.
Yeah, but you will have to read the book yourself and decide whether they were similar.
I agree. Sylvie was the bookworm of the family. She worked at the library.
Yeah, she was kind of fun-loving. Well, she liked to kiss boys.
She did.
Yes, she would even time it.
How fun.
Yeah. And she said that she was practicing for her one true love.
Yes, she was. She was my favorite.
Yeah, I enjoyed her too.
And then there was Cecilia. She was the talented artist. And then there was Emmeline, who loved working with children. But Julia is the one that fell in love with William.
Yes. And Julia was a planner.
Yes.
She planned every detail of her life.
She did.
And William's life.
She did.
Yes.
She decided they needed to get married. She decided what he needed to be as far as profession when he graduated.
Yeah. She decided when they needed a child.
Yeah. And she was clueless that William was suffering from mental illness.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't grow up with that kind of childhood trauma and not carry some of that with you into adulthood.
Yeah.
I think. So we should probably mention the parents as well. There was Rose, the mom, which she's the mother of the 4 girls. She liked to garden. I thought she was too much like Julia, and I didn't really care for her.
Yeah.
Did you like her?
I didn't mind Rose, but she was very, very quick to just dismiss her children, cut them out of her life if they didn't do exactly what she wanted. I don't know if she was the planner in the same way that Julia was. I mean, I think she loved her girls, but how do you just...
Yeah, she wanted them to do things the way she thought it should go.
It was her way or the highway.
Right. And then there's Dad Charlie. He did have some problems,
did.
But he loved his girls. And he would greet them by saying, "Hello, beautiful."
Yeah, which is the title of our book.
Yes. William's depression, it really kind of messed with Julia's picture-perfect world.
It did, yes.
And those sisters that were so close, well, it kind of started to unravel.
It did.
Hearts are broken.
True love is found.
And the ending will make the book worth the read.
I think so.
Our book club gave it a 3.5 stars.
Goodreads gives it a 4.17.
I think I'd give it a 4.
I would too, yeah.
So Hello Beautiful by Napolitano.
So, Lanie, you know that I've really just gotten back into reading fiction since we've started our book club.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yes. I really enjoyed this book. It is Someone Else's Shoes, written by Jojo Moyes.
You told me about this one.
Yeah, it's a fun book. So this is by Jojo Moyes. She's an English journalist who had started writing award-winning novels in 2002. She's published now around 20 books, including the Me Before You trilogy and The Giver of Stars. I've not read any of those, but after reading this book, I think I want to read more from her. So Someone Else's Shoes is her latest novel, and it's a story that takes place in London, and it begins with a bag mix-up at a gym.
Oh, no.
Yes. So there's two women, and they are forced, literally, to walk in someone else's shoes.
That would not work for me. I have wide feet.
Well, they somehow fit.
Oh, good.
That's good. Good for them. So Sam is an overstressed mother and wife. Her husband, Phil, is suffering from some severe depression. He just lost his father, and he's lost his job. And so Sam is currently the breadwinner of their family, and she's working as a salesperson at a printing company and has a really lousy boss. Her best friend has cancer.
Man.
Yeah, and she just is overwhelmed with her life.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. So she's gone to the gym, and after a morning of working out, she discovers that her practical work outfit is gone, and instead she finds this bag, looks just like hers, with a high-end Chanel jacket and a pair of red alligator Christian Louboutin heels.
Fancy.
Yes. So she really has no choice because she's supposed to be at work, and she's got this boss who's after her anyway, so she's got to get there. She puts them on, and she feels different. She makes it to work. And she's walking around feeling more confident, a little bit sexy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a better version of herself. And others start to take notice, too. So now we wonder, where in the heck is Sam's bag? So Nisha is a woman who appears to have it all. She has an incredibly rich husband.
Oh, lucky her.
Yes, they live an international lifestyle. She has a closet full of designer clothes and shoes. But Nisha's basically a trophy wife, and she has no friends of her own.
Oh.
She's really not actually a very nice person either.
Oh. Well, that's why she doesn't have friends.
Yes. But she believes someone has stolen her gym bag. She can't wear these atrocious clothes. So she decides she's leaving the gym wearing their robe and some flip-flops. And she's running to this luxury hotel where her husband, Carl, they have a penthouse there. And she arrives to find that he has locked her out.
Oh, no.
And not only that, he has instructed guards to escort her out of the hotel, and he has canceled her credit cards, too. So she's in a bit of a pickle.
She is in a bit of a pickle.
So she's left with the clothes in the gym bag. So she has no choice.
Lucky her.
That's right. She really has no choice but to wear someone else's shoes and her frumpy clothes, and she is not happy about it. So she is trying to get back into the hotel, and she gets spotted by Jasmine, who is a hotel housekeeper, and she's mistaken Nisha for a new employee. Well, anyway, Jasmine and Nisha become friends. Jasmine is feeling sorry for Nisha. She's decided that she can stay at her house, opens her home to
that's
Nisha.
kind.
Yes. Nisha starts working at the hotel in housekeeping while trying to put the pieces of her life back together and to find her missing shoes. Also, to complicate things, Nisha has an emotionally fragile son living in the U.S., and remember, this is in London. So Sam and Nisha do eventually meet up. I'm not going to tell you all of that because I don't want to spoil it for you. But the plot unfolds as the women all work together to help Nisha deal with her husband and be reunited with her son.
It sounds great.
Yeah. So my thoughts on the book, I thought it was really fun, cute, but there was a lot of depth there too. I think it was a story about friendships, about personal growth, and about female empowerment. I found it to be an easy read, but it really pulled me along with these little twists and turns. I'd say it's a book that I would easily recommend, and I want to give it 4 out of 5 stars.
I'll put it on my list.
And that is Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes.
Lasha, I have been deceived.
Oh, no. About your book?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. In my 20s, I was a big 90210 girl. Did you watch that show?
A little bit, but not like you did. I know you.
I did. I did watch it a lot. And after that time period was over, then my husband bought me the CDs. And I have watched those CDs front to back. I can't tell you how many times.
Yeah.
So I actually have them memorized, and I can fall asleep with my eyes closed with it going in the background.
You are a true fan.
I was a true fan. So when I saw a book that had Luke Perry on the cover, and the title was A Good Bad Boy, Luke Perry.
You had no choice.
I had to buy it.
You had no choice but to buy it.
I had to buy it, but I am so bummed. Only half the book is about him.
Oh.
Yeah. So the other half is about the author, which it does say how a generation grew up, but I didn't want that. I just wanted Luke Perry.
Oh.
So anyway, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Again, the book is called A Good Bad Boy, Luke Perry, and How a Generation Grew Up, and it's by Margaret Wappler.
Margaret, you tried to pull a fast one.
Darn it, Margaret. So the Luke parts were great. They really were. I learned some new things about Luke that I didn't know. I did know that his real name was Coy Luther Perry. I did know that he grew up in Ohio. I did not know that his father was a drunk and an abusive not an abusive dad, an abusive husband. Oh. And we just finished reading a book with some abuse in it.
Yeah.
And so that caught my attention. And the mom divorced the dad. In the book, it stated that Luke could either follow in his father's footsteps, or he could do the opposite and be a protector. Mm-hmm. And that's what Luke was. He was a protector. If you read any magazines or books from actors and actresses that, worked on set with him, they all adore him. Oh, he was just a really great guy.
Well, good.
Yeah. Anyway, I did not know that about him. He did have a stepdad, and his stepdad taught him that a real man is kind and loving above all else. So I learned that he did children's theater when he was a kid, and that in high school he was the mascot for his high school. And then he traveled to become an actor. That's what he wanted to do. And I learned that when he was trying to get the job on Beverly Hills 90210, not everyone was on board at giving him the part.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Aaron Spelling was so sure that he paid Luke's salary in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he became like a mega
yeah.
teen idol.
Yeah,
really. Sure. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting. Another fact that I found out, and I did not know this, is that in the show, when he goes from loving Brenda to loving Kelly, Brenda played by Shannon Doherty and Kelly played by Jenny Garth, mm-hmm. that it was his idea. He told the writers, I want to date the blonde. Oh. And it set up this triangle, right? Girls all over were deciding, were they team Brenda or were they team Kelly? Did you have any of that?
I didn't. I really didn't get into the show
that much.
Yeah.
So at one point in the show, there's an episode where Brenda has come back from college and she meets up with Dylan and they go to like a dock or a pier to fish. This is after he's already been with Kelly. It's really towards the end of Brenda's time on the show. But I can remember thinking, oh, do it. Get together. So I guess I might have been Team Brenda.
Yeah, I can't remember that much about it.
To me, it was great. Now when I watch back, I'm like, okay. But I still love it.
Yeah.
Still love it.
And I definitely didn't do reruns or, the box set.
Oh,
so.
I still have it. Still watch it. They also talked about how he was the one that chose the actress that played the part of Tony. And that was the person on the show that he married.
Oh,
and then, unfortunately, Tony gets killed, and that's about the time Luke leaves 90210. But
so he had a lot of influence on the
storylines
then.
Yeah. And he did other shows, too. He did 8 Seconds. Did you watch that? It's a story about Lane Frost, a rodeo guy.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I've seen the show. I did not know that Luke Perry did all his own riding, like the bull riding.
Oh, yeah.
And they said cowboys on the set were so they respected him for that. You know, he learned how to do the trade or how to ride and did it well.
Yeah.
And they said he really did portray Lane very nicely. So I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So I did learn a lot. I learned that he was on a show, HBO called Oz, and was nude in one scene.
Oh,
didn't know that. I do want the series, not because of that, but I do want that series because, you know, I didn't have HBO in my 20s and 30s, so I've heard it's a really good series.
Yeah.
The last thing he really acted in was he played Fred Andrews on Riverdale. And that's the CW's adaptation of the Archie comics. He played a dad. And while he was on that show, that is when he died.
Oh.
Yes. So they had to exit, you know, an unplanned exit for Fred's character. And they wanted to do it tastefully. So they had him be a hero, saving a stranger. And they brought in Shannon Doherty to play that stranger. I know.
And now you've lost both of them.
I know. And I was reading this book when Shannon died. So that just made it all, I don't know.
Come full circle.
Kind of, yeah.
I mean,
there is a quote here, and it says, Doherty's appearance fulfilled a lifetime wish of Luke's that his old friend be given a guest part in Riverdale. I'm not going to lie. I did cry a little bit. So all these things I loved about the book.
Yeah.
But it's only one half of the book. The other half is all about Margaret, and I didn't care anything about learning about Margaret. Sorry, Margaret.
Yeah.
I don't know
you
Margaret.
Felt tricked by her.
I did. I wanted it all to be about Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah. The book jacket has quotes from people that love this book. And I'm sure they picked the best ones for the cover. I didn't love it. Goodreads gives it a 3.26. I'm giving it a 2.5. If it had just been the parts about Luke, I would have said like 3.5 or maybe even a 4.
Yeah.
So
did you read through Margaret's story?
I did.
Yeah. Did you have any good things to say about that, or not so much? If you don't, no biggie.
I just didn't.
Because you were just annoyed.
I was annoyed the whole time. Yeah. I just wanted to get through it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry, Margaret.
Yeah.
So, anyway, if you are a 90210 fan, or if you love Luke Perry, you're going to read this, even if I give it a 2.5.
Yeah.
But it is a good bad boy. Luke Perry and How a Generation Grew Up. I'd be part of that generation. And it's written by Margaret Wappler. Lasha, our next episode, we'll be talking about the August book selections.
Yeah, we actually have 2 books.
And we told the girls they could read one or the other or both.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And we'll have Angela here from our book club, so she'll be joining us for our discussion. And we can't wait for you to join us too. So until next time, I'm Lasha.
And I'm Lanie. And keep those bookmarks bouncing.